Hello viewers, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Also, click on the bell icon so that you get the latest information about the videos that are uploaded. Hello students, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we are going to continue the ongoing chapter number 1, Nutrition in Plants. In today's session, we will discuss about an activity to show that oxygen is given out during photosynthesis and special cases of photosynthesis. First of all, we will discuss the activity. The aim of the activity is to show that oxygen is given out during photosynthesis. Materials required are one beaker, one test tube, a funnel, water, hydrilla plants and a lighted incense sticks. So what is the aim? To show that oxygen is given out during photosynthesis. And for that we need one beaker, test tube, funnel, hydrilla plants, water and an incense stick. Now let us discuss the procedure. First of all, we have to take few stems of healthy hydrilla plants and immerse them in a beaker filled with water. So take the beaker, fill it up with water and keep the hydrilla plants, that must be healthy stem, and immerse them in the water. Place an inverted funnel over the stems. We have to keep the funnel in the inverted way over the stems. In the next step, we have to take the test tube and fill it completely with water. And close the test tube with your thumb and carefully invert it over the funnel as shown in the figure. Now place the beaker in bright sunlight. So what is the arrangement for the experiment? We have taken the beaker, filled it with water and kept hydrilla plant over inside the water. Now cover the plant with a inverted funnel and above that funnel we have to keep a test tube completely filled with water, that also in the inverted way. After that, we have to keep the entire arrangement in the bright sunlight. Now we will see what is the observation. After some time, we can observe bubbles coming out of the plant. Allow the gas to fill 3/4 of the test tube. It will replace water from the test tube. Now carefully remove the test tube by lifting it vertically upward. So what we can see? We can see the bubbles coming out of the plant. And allow that gas to fill. How do we come to know that it is getting filled in the test tube? We can see that the water is getting replaced inside the test tube. So it shows that gas is getting filled inside the test tube. Now carefully remove the test tube in the upward, vertically upwards without lifting. Now this will prevent the gas from escaping. Do not tilt the test tube even slightly. Now insert a lighted incense stick to the test tube. We can see that incense stick glows brightly. So what we have to do? We have to lift the test tube vertically without tilting even slightly. If we are tilting, the oxygen gas which is collected in the test tube may escape. Now we have to insert a lighted incense stick into the test tube and we can see that the stick glows brightly. You know that oxygen helps in the burning process. So in the presence of oxygen inside the test tube, the incense stick starts glowing brightly. So what we can conclude from this? The incense stick glows brightly due to the presence of oxygen which is produced by the plant during photosynthesis, because we have kept the entire arrangement in the sunlight. So we have provided all the requirements for photosynthesis and the plants have started to make the food by photosynthesis. So during that process, oxygen is given out and because of that oxygen, the incense stick starts burning brightly. So we can conclude that oxygen is given out during photosynthesis. Now we will discuss some special cases of photosynthesis. Besides leaves, photosynthesis also takes place in other green parts of the plant such as the stem and branches. Children, you know that leaves are the site for photosynthesis. but it is found that if any other parts of the plant is green that contains chlorophyll, then photosynthesis can take place in such parts also. In desert plants such as cactus, leaves are modified into spines to reduce the loss of water. You know that cactus are desert plants, they do not get enough water. So they have to save water, that is they have to reduce the loss of water. For that purpose, in cactus plants, leaves are modified into spines. In cactus, photosynthesis takes place in the thick and fleshy green stems that contain chlorophyll. So as I told you, in cactus they do not have leaves, but they have thick fleshy green stems where they prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis, as the green stems contain chlorophyll. Some other organisms such as cyanobacteria and algae also contain chlorophyll and can photosynthesize. So other organisms than the green plants which photosynthesize are cyanobacteria and algae. Why they can prepare their food? Because they contain chlorophyll. Leaves that have colors other than green also have chlorophyll. The green color of these leaves is masked by the red, brown and other pigments. Children, you might have seen some garden plants with different designs, different colored leaves are there. But they are also photosynthesizing because in their leaves the green color is masked by the other colored pigments. But they contain chlorophyll and they can do photosynthesis. Now we will discuss about the synthesis of other plant foods. Carbohydrates that are made by the plants during photosynthesis are composed of carbon, oxygen and hydrogen. Using these elements, plants also synthesize other components of food such as fats, vitamins and proteins. So during photosynthesis, plants make carbohydrates. Carbohydrates contain carbon, oxygen and hydrogen. So these elements are used by the plants to produce other components of food, that is other nutrients such as fats, vitamins and proteins. It shows that plants need carbohydrate and other nutrient components like fats, vitamins and proteins also. Apart from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, proteins also contain nitrogen. Air contains 78% of gaseous nitrogen, but plants cannot absorb it directly from the air. Atmospheric nitrogen is converted into usable form by certain bacteria present in the soil. So, to make protein, plants need carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and also nitrogen. Air contains 78% of gaseous nitrogen. But do you know the plants cannot absorb the nitrogen from the air? For this, the plants depends on the bacteria present in the soil. They can convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the water-soluble nitrogenous compounds, and then only the plants can absorb the nitrogen. The converted nitrogen can be absorbed by the plants. Some plants also have certain bacteria in their roots which help to convert nitrogen into soluble form in the soil. So, some plants apart from the soil bacteria, they have certain special type of bacteria called rhizobium living in their root nodules. They can convert the atmospheric nitrogen into soluble form. Also, sometimes farmers add nitrogen-rich fertilizers to the soil. In this way, plants fulfill the requirement of nitrogen to synthesize food components other than carbohydrates. So, which are the ways by which the plants fulfill their requirement of nitrogen? First one, the soil bacteria can convert the atmospheric nitrogen into water-soluble nitrogenous forms. Second, the leguminous plants such as peas, beans, etc. they have rhizobium bacteria living in their root nodules. They can convert atmospheric nitrogen into water-soluble nitrogenous compounds. And third one is the farmers adding the nitrogen-rich fertilizers to the soil. Therefore, the plants can prepare all the food components other than carbohydrates. So students, I hope you have understood the topics very well. But still, if you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. I will surely try to solve it as early as possible. Here are some review questions. Please solve it in your notebook. Thank you.